need to make sure that you're paying attention to what men say. And if it makes you feel weird, babe, like, don't go. Like, it's not worth, like, finding love is not worth losing your whole perspective on who you are. So I still very much do want to stay home with my baby because who wouldn't? But things happen and there are bills that need to be paid. And I'm a single mom because my baby daddy is not the greatest human being alive. So you gotta do what you gotta do at this point. Period. So I have an interview today and I am super not nervous because like I really don't even want to be doing this today, to be completely honest with you. But I'm ready for it to be over. So we're gonna get ready for this interview. Hopefully I don't have to work here for too long. And I don't mean that in a shitty way, but like I have goals that I want to complete. Like, this is not my dream job by any means. And it doesn't really have to be. I think a job is a job. The job that I am going to interview for today is McDonald's. And I know that the haters are out there like, because you know how bitches are. You know how bitches are. Oh my god, she went from the business office to McDonald's. Yes, because I'd rather be respected. Thank you. I'd rather be respected. If that's what we got out of that, I got better things out. Okay, and I'm honestly not going to be doing too much today, because it's summertime, so I'm not really trying to be super covered in makeup because, bro, I will pass out. I already have like a sensitivity to heat, and I already have a sensitivity to like heat in like the bathtub, anywhere, like the sun, the bathtub, all places where heat persists, bitch, I can pass out. So, you know, that's another thing I'm worried about, working in the kitchen. Listen, I'm all over the place right now, but this is like a little random rant. Like a little random rant. Also, I hope that you guys took a lesson from my last video that I posted, because there's a lot that went into that situation, like feelings and things like that. And I just also feel like today I kind of want to talk a little bit about like the, not warning signs, but things that you can do to keep yourself safe on the internet. And I mean, like, let's like really talk about this shit, because I feel like there have been a lot of times where I have not been so safe on the internet because I have put myself in like these really bad situations because I want to have friends, or I want to be liked, or I want some guy to love me. And I think that that's like the biggest downfall that you can have as a person. I get it, because like abandonment issues are no joke. Life is no joke. You really just have feelings, like it's just a thing. But I think that a lot of people go based off of their emotions and get them in some really deep shit. So one thing I'm gonna say as like a precaution when you're dating online or talking to somebody, or well, what, first of all, if you're young, I would advise not to talk to anybody at all. Boys, I would advise you to work on yourself, love yourself, show up for yourself, because at the end of the day, boys will come at some point, okay? I'm not saying don't know anything about boys. I'm not saying don't go on dates as a young girl, but I'm saying like take time to know yourself and love yourself and value yourself first before you get into a relationship. I wish I would have done that. But I think that the most important piece of advice that I can give you, and what I gave to you at the end of that video, was to always have your location shared with somebody. Now, I actually have to have my location. I literally thought about this the second that I said it. I don't have my location shared with anybody because the person who I did have my location shared with was my best friend, and we are no longer best friends anymore, so I don't have my location shared. So I am going to be sharing my location with my cousin, because you just have to pick somebody who you know and trust, and you know, you don't have to have everybody in your business to share your location. You know what I mean? So I think that that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to have my cousin that I'm going to share my location with, because it is very important for people to know where the fuck you're at. I mean, I think that for a long time I moved in like that, nobody needs to know my business. But like with that situation, everybody needs to know your fucking business. Like everyone. Like not everyone, but like, you know what I mean? The important people, because if you go missing, people can just look you up, and I'm sure as fuck not gonna just stay open on Snapchat map, because I don't know how people do that shit. That's weird as fuck. I do not want people to know where I am 24. Like, if you're my friend, it's different. But why would you openly like just tell people where the fuck you are. Like, that's weird as shit. I don't know. Maybe people just don't care. Like, you can literally track that shit down to like houses. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. But I'm not into that. But I also would advise you to take your time with men in general. Like, a lot of times I hear lately, like, girls are following this whole 3-month rule thing, which I think is like really good. And I also am thinking about changing my rule for my daughter, but like, we'll talk about that a little later. But I think that the 3-month rule is really good, especially when it comes to being intimate. I think kissing is one thing. Also, I think kissing is one thing in one respect, but I also think that kissing also is another, because you swap saliva. I think that I did not think before about how special intimacy was until I had my daughter and was traumatized. And I had met that guy that I had met after my daughter, and I was like, oh, I actually kind of think I want to like kiss him. Like, what is this? But then I would get fearful, because it's like, bro, who have you been around? You know what I mean? But you don't need to be fearful per se, but I'm saying just be super, super fucking careful, because these men be crazy as shit, bro. I think it's important to just value yourself and make sure that you're not being put in situations that you don't want to be in, or people pleasing people because you want them to stay, because I think that that's something that we do sometimes. And sometimes we even get in situations where guys will tell us that they're like these great guys, and then put us in very uncomfortable situations where we're like unable to get out. Like that one Tinder date that I had that took me home, my Tinder date horror story. Okay, there are situations like that, and that is why I now carry mace and a Cubiton, because I would rather be stranded in Pittsburgh with weapons than stuck in a car with a man. You know what I mean? It's giving where's the bear in the forest? Would I rather be in the forest with a bear or a man? We all know the answer to that fucking question. That's why all these men are out here screaming, bitch. That's why they're all mad, because they know the truth about themselves. And I'm not saying all men, because the men that aren't screaming are the men that understand. The men that are like, we get you, sister, are the men that we don't gotta run from. They're the men that we're probably running to in the woods. You know what I mean? And even then, you can't even tell. So we're probably still running toward the bear. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's really crazy. It's very important to make sure that you're safe, and make sure that you're taken care of, and make sure that you have people on speed dial. People, you just be very careful. I have, again, this mace and Cubiton that I absolutely love. I think I got it off of Amazon. I might link it below if I still have the link. If I don't, I'm sorry, but you can find them anywhere. They're like self-defense keychains. And I think that people take so much freaking joy out of hurting people anymore. Especially, like, you see all of these horror stories on like date night or Datelines, and like you see all of these different like things on like the ID channel, and all these different like this. Listen, it literally happens to men too. That's what's crazy. Like, the world is so insane. There was a guy who had went to, I saw this on Bailey Sarian's channel, I believe, but there was a guy who had went to this one spot because this one dude was like, he had made this film or something, and he was like super obsessed with like catching a cheater and killing them or something. Don't do that. You know what I mean? But like, this is the thing. This is what was weird. So he catches this guy, okay? And he catches this guy. I don't know if the guy was a cheater per se, or if he just met him off of a dating site and was like, you're the one. But he catches this guy, and this guy comes to his house, okay? And the guy, he like tries to like kidnap him and like murder him and shit like that, okay? And so he ends up getting free. But because he was embarrassed that another man did that to him, he didn't report it. Like, that's not the type of world I want to live in. I want to live in a world where everybody feels open to be able to say whatever they want. And that's another thing. I think that the reason why these men are such is because they're stunted for growth, because they're told to be. You know what I mean? Which is sad, but it's also like, there's a lot of shit that people go through, and they still don't treat people how they, you know what I mean? Don't treat people like that. And also, I have this very unpopular opinion that maybe people will like and maybe they won't, but I don't really give a shit, because it's my opinion, and I honestly truly believe this. I heard this guy say this, and I've heard plenty of guys say this, but I heard this guy say this again like the other day, which is like crazy to me. But if you literally think to yourself, if a girl is walking down the street with like even fucking nipple pasties on, bitch, I mean like anything, if you think she's walking down the street and you think to yourself, she's asking for it. If somebody were to grape her, you've thought about graping someone, and I don't care. I really do not care. You've outed yourself, and I'm looking at you hella different now. And the whole world should as well, because anybody who says some shit like that has most definitely thought of overpowering someone. Because if you think that it's okay for another man to do it, you think it's okay for you to do it, and it's giving you are a rapist in your mind. It's giving you fantasize, babe. It's giving every woman should stay away from you. It's precisely what it's giving. And I just don't think that men understand that, because to a man it's like, well, if she wasn't wearing things up the crack of her ass. But like, that's like me being like, well, if you would have got off the game, I wouldn't have had to smash your PlayStation. You wouldn't like that shit, now would you? If you wouldn't have freaking cheated on me, I wouldn't have freaking poured bleach on your clothes. Like, toxic behavior does not trump you know what I mean? Like, you sound stupid. You sound really dumb. And that's like, that's just, it is what it is. Because I feel like men who think like that, again, you're a predator. You're worse than the predators, because you're not only like openly supporting them, but you're the type of dude that wouldn't help a woman if she was in a situation, if she didn't have the right clothes on. You know what I mean? That's the type of person you are, and that's weird as shit. I don't know. I just really don't know. It's just, there's something wrong about it. I think I got eyeliner in my eye. Okay, I didn't. I was a little scared for a second. But it's like, be so serious for a second. You know what I mean? Like, my camera batteries are exhausted, so I'll check you guys out after my interview. Hello, beautiful souls. I am not at all prepared or organized. It is a brand new day. So just bear with me, okay? I'm gonna finish up this little rant here because I don't know, like, yesterday was a lot. So if I was talking about how if you think that someone deserves to be raped because of what they're wearing, you yourself have thought about raping someone. And that, listen, there's not really much else to say about that opinion. It just is what it is. Stop being fucking weird, because you're outing yourselves for real. It's gross. Honestly, keep being weird, because we know who to stay the fuck away from. I left my eyebrows somewhere. Oh, my eyebrows living. Takesies. I don't fucking know. I ended up going to that interview, and it went really good. At least in my opinion, it went really good. I liked it. I think it'll be beneficial for me if I do get this job, because they seem to be flexible with schedules, and I only really want it if they're going to be flexible with my schedule, because I have a specific schedule I have in mind for school. So yeah, I hope that ends up working out. If it doesn't, God will always make a way. God always does make a way. I'm throwing things, don't mind me. I feel like today is, I just dropped something. I feel like today is one of those days, you know, just one of those days. But listen, like, I tried to get this makeup off of me from yesterday. Like, I need a nap. This is like, my eyebrows just do not do what they need to do, and I don't. Okay, I'm done. I don't know, I feel like it's a good opportunity, and I feel like it will be a lot better for my mental health. The amount of days that I'm going to be working, it'll be good on my school, because listen, oh my god. So another thing about last night that was like a little bit crazy, because I had to do that stuff after my interview for the job, and then I had to do like schoolwork and stuff like that. I have a freaking project due this week, but I have, like, we're 2 weeks away from my next semester, okay? And each time that we are 2 weeks away from my next semester, there is a preview period for the next class. You know what my next class is? It's applied fucking statistics, bitch. Okay, and so I was up last night because I had all this shit going on anyway, so I was like, I might as well preview the period, or preview the semester to see what I'm getting myself into. Because when I tell you, and shout out to Cheryl, my academic advisor, when I tell you that I have been literally, it's annoying. When I tell you that I have been literally asking her, pleading with her, baby girl put this off. And she's been doing it for a year, girl, but like I'm at a point now that I can't afford it anymore to be putting it off, because there are certain classes that I have to take applied statistics before I take the class, and I'm starting to get towards some of my core classes, so I have to take applied statistics. I'm grossed out, okay, but it is what it is. Got on my profile for school last night, and I looked at my course, and when I tell you, girl, I heard the words mean, median, and mode, and I don't know how fucking long, and like I'm not looking forward to this class. And I know for a fact this is going to be one of those semesters, because usually like each semester has its own like challenges and its own difficulties and shit like that, but usually I can get through any semester breezy, easy breezy, okay? Like there's no freaking problem with me getting through any semester, having any issue, even being a procrastinator, waiting till the last minute. Like there are a lot of times where it does get me booty tight, but like I could procrastinate till the last minute, write a paper the hour before it's due and still get an A. Okay, so it's like this class though is not one of those classes. No, and that is what I'm so afraid of, because why I don't understand why I have to do this. I'm not happy, but it's like it is what it is. I need this class obviously to be able to graduate, and I need this class for my degree, so obviously I have to do it. But it's frustrating. I don't want to do this class at all whatsoever. But I was looking at, there are some aspects that are like things I've already covered from other classes, just like random stuff. Like in my research methods class, we talked a little bit about qualitative and quantitative data. And so that was something that I had already learned about. But I do feel like whenever they talk about nominal and ordinal variables and shit like that, I feel like I'm getting that part more than I did in the other classes, so that's good. I feel like this textbook really explains it well. So I do feel kind of hopeful if I just study, but I am like a little bit nervous, because even if I do study, I'm not the best at math. I can't do math in my head at all, fun fact. And it's just, I'm worried. My face is okay, and it's just, it's a little scary. It is really just a little bit scary. But let's get back on track, because I told you that I wanted to talk about, like, I know that this is going to be like a random talk session, but I wanted to talk about like the dangers of the internet, okay? I really want to get back on to that. Some of the things that I think that girls need to start doing in general, and this is something that I wish that I wouldn't have done before, is if you don't have a way to said date or interaction or like whatever, if you don't have a way there, don't go. And I know that probably sounds like, ew, you hating ass bitch, like I want to go and have fun and do what I want to do, you know what I mean? And I get that, I really do. Ooh, I don't like that. I get that. I 100% understand why you would want to do the things that you want to do, babe. But when men have access to you, and I'm talking about access like, so he picked you up and now like this, take it back to the Tinder date horror story, okay? Like that man could have done anything to me, okay? Literally anything. He had me out like away from my house. Yes, we were in a city. However, do you know how much people mind their businesses in cities? Like he could have dragged me in an alley. 6 people could have watched him and been like, wow, I saw that girl get dragged into an alley the other day. That's crazy. That's crazy that she's on the news. You know what I mean? Like people don't really like care all that much like that anymore. So you really have to learn to protect and advocate for yourself. And part of that is not putting yourself in situations where a man can have access to you at his mercy, and you're at his mercy, because that is something that they run with, and they might not seem like predators whenever you first talk to them, because they never seem like predators whenever you first talk to them. Look at my last video, you know what I mean? But they can be, and I'm not telling you to think that all men are predators, but I'm just saying to be safe. And that comes into my next point, where I think that people need to stop giving out their fucking phone numbers like it's just a fucking fun thing to do on a Tuesday. I don't understand. Do you know how easy it is for people to track you down by your number? Do you know? Because I've done it. You know how easy it is for people to track you down by your number, and you know how many times like it's been like a weird situation where like, or even like in general, like say you don't want people in your fucking business, like, and then you're giving out your number and then you show up in these people's fucking suggested on sites that you don't want them to see you on, or like sites that like you don't want to add them on, because like I feel like there are some people who are in your life for different reasons, and sometimes you'll have a friend that you text, and sometimes you'll have a friend that you Snapchat, because I feel like we don't always agree with all of our friends, we don't always agree with all of the people that we are talking to, so you know what I mean. But I mean, it's different with men obviously, but I just went on a rant there for a little bit. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? Giving out your number in general, but specifically with men, is a very bad idea, because these men they plot a lot, babe. As much as you think that these guys are out here being nice and, you know, they're so sweet and he's gonna take me out to dinner, like, and then whenever you tell him no at the end of the night, watch his tune change. And I'm not saying this is for everybody. Like, I don't want people to think that I'm just this bitter bitch. But I need people to be, I want girls to be more fucking serious, like, about this shit. Because I think that we all have this perception of, like, rainbows and butterflies and roses and, you know, this idea of love and this fairy tale. And it's amazing, to still have that imagination. You know what I mean? It's amazing to still think that way. And I'm not saying that you need to necessarily think a different way. Men just really are very fucking insane, and it's not like, it's no news. You know, it's no big news thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that when we really just take our time and really get to know men, because a lot of times, even whenever, what's scary, see, this is what's, this is gonna be random as shit, but this is what's scary to me. What's scary to me is that men that you even take your time with will fuck around and break your heart 12 years later. Like, I don't, you, I don't like that. I don't really like the idea of that. Something that I really do think that you should do, just in general, is trust, like I said in my last video, and I'm gonna beat this into your head, trust your gut. Because a lot of times, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I will look at a profile, like, say that it's on Tinder, or say that, like, there's, like, I don't really have anything else but Tinder. I don't have anything else but Tinder, but, like, say that, like, I'm on Tinder and I look at this guy and I catch this feeling that, like, ooh, something's not right about him, but I don't want to feel that way. Like, I feel like I'm being mean. Like, girl, be mean. Like, and he's not seeing you be mean. He's not seeing you reject him. He doesn't know that you rejected him, so who gives a shit? If you feel some type of way in your heart about, oh my god, this is so annoying. If you feel some type of way in your heart about how a man is acting, or you just get an off vibe by looking at him, babe, don't force it. Don't push it. There's so many other men in the world. Like, don't do that shit. Learn to, like, really trust yourself, because that's something that I haven't done for a long time. I had to, like, learn to trust myself and learn to trust my gut and learn to go with my gut, because, girl, I was really resisting and then getting myself into some shit. Okay? This goes hand in hand with, like, sharing your location. I don't care if you're not the type of person that wants people in your business. I don't give a fuck, okay? Like, it doesn't really matter if you want people in your business or not. This is about your safety, so you're gonna do this, okay? Next time, you're gonna remember, I can't talk. You're gonna remember to do this, okay? Every single time that you go out, and I do mean every single time that you go out, even when you share your location with your friends, or you share, like, where you're at, I don't care. You need to be, like, every now and then, oh, I have to use the restroom, checking in with somebody, letting them know where you are, letting them know what's going on with the date, letting them know what's going on when you're hanging out. Especially if you're feeling uncomfortable, let someone know that. You know what I mean? Like, don't sit back and think, oh, well, I feel bad. I feel super bad for feeling this way about him, and I don't know him, and I don't want to judge somebody. Because usually the judgments that we come up with, like, sometimes, obviously there's people out here who, like, don't like me because of the color of my skin, bitch. So, like, yeah, some judgments are a little off, but I think that making fair judgments based off of, like, a feeling of intuition, I think that's fair. And I think that any man that gets mad about that, I think, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Because I don't think anybody should ever get mad at anybody for wanting to feel safe, especially, like, if you, like, you're not, like, he's a monster, you know what I mean, when he has done nothing. You know what I mean? I could understand being mad about some shit like that, but half the time a man will show you his true colors on the first date. He will tell you what he thinks of women. He will tell you what he thinks of himself. He will tell you how he values women, how he respects women. You just have to ask the right questions. Ask his relationship with his mom. That's one thing. If he's too into her, if that's his girl, if that's his best girl, I would run. If he disrespects his mama, other than like, not like this, I don't mean, so like if his mom like obviously traumatized him or some shit like that, you wouldn't want to talk about her in the best light. But oh, my mom just won't even let me fucking stay in her basement rent free and fucking let me eat all her food, and that bitch is a cunt and I'll fucking, like that type of shit. You can really tell how men respect women, how they're gonna treat women. Ask him what his relationship is like with his mom. Ask him what he likes to do. Ask him like what he thinks of like certain, think of like the things that you're into. Ask him what he thinks of what you think. You know what I mean? Because, but I'm not saying like you have to align with everything. Deal breakers. Like if you're like, okay, I feel strongly about Roe v. Wade, and he's like, you're a nasty creature if you get it. You know what I mean? Like, then that's not somebody you want to be with. You know what I mean? You have to really learn to dissect it the second that you meet this man, and like subtly, not like, oh, do you want to have 3 kids tomorrow? Do you want to get married next year? Like, when you, like, don't ask questions that are going to make them run. Ask questions that you can analyze and figure out if this is somebody that you want to be with. And you can also analyze and figure out if this is somebody even like worth a second date. Because sometimes you can gauge it, but like a lot of times men will really just show who they are. We just choose not to believe them a lot of the time. Always, and I mean always, always, always meet in public. I used to literally go to dudes' houses, and there have been times where I have not wanted to bang, but like banged because I felt like I didn't know how they were going to react. And while I don't necessarily feel like that's an assault because they're not, like, I'm consenting in a way, you know what I mean? I never want to put myself in that situation again, because there have been situations where like I've not wanted to do something, but did it because I didn't know if my safety was okay. And I never want to ever be put in that situation ever again. So really just make sure that you're meeting people in public. Don't meet men in their houses. Don't meet men in back alleys. Don't let them tell you that they're the nicest guy in the world. And he's never gonna, like, men will hurt you if they want to fucking hurt you. Stay sober. If you don't feel like staying sober, make sure that you get one of those freaking like cup covers. And if a man gets mad at you for wearing a cup cover or having a cup cover or anything of the sort, or having any type of protection on you at all, you need to leave the date immediately. And I mean that. I think that it's super important to just be like aware of what's going on around you and how a man is acting, because I think sometimes we get so caught in like looking at a man through rose-colored glasses that we're really not taking in what he's actually saying. Like, you're so busy like, and he's over here just like, yeah, I'm gonna plow this bitch tonight. I can't wait. Well, he's the one. He's just gonna fuck the shit out of, like, you know what I mean? Like, 2 different perspectives, bitch. Wait, 2 way different perspectives, okay? And I think that it's so important to keep safe on the internet, because that is something that I wish that I would have done. And what's crazy is, like, in my situation where I got assaulted, I hung out with him. Like, I think one time before he ended up assaulting me. And, you know, like, I thought that I knew him because I hung out with him one time before, and like, he was so cool. But he said things that alluded to the fact that he was going to do something to me, and it just completely went over my head. And I think that you really need to make sure that you're paying attention to what men say, and if it makes you feel weird, babe, like, don't go. Like, it's not worth, like, finding love is not worth losing your whole perspective on who you are. Because when I tell you that I literally lost myself from that assault, and I'm gonna say that, like, I was groomed a lot when I was younger by several different men. I'm gonna say that I, like, lost bits and pieces of me along the way, but that specific assault made me completely dismantle who the fuck I was. I have been fighting for her ever since, and I don't want anybody to ever feel that way, because I don't know the sense of entitlement that men feel towards women and their bodies these days, but it's very strange. Men will shoot you for rejecting them anymore. So really just make sure that you're taking care of yourself and you're being safe and you're doing safe things, because when you don't, like, it leaves room for one of those little crusty fuckers to slip their foot in the door. And let me tell you, they're not all crusty. There are some out there that are super sweet. There are men that are so nice and so understanding and so patient. And that's something that we tend to run from, which is weird. But maybe that's just me. But that's something that sometimes we tend to run from because we're so used to the chaos, and chaos seems like it's normal because it's what we're used to sometimes. So you have to really, really, really just know that you're worthy of healthy love. You know what I mean? You're worthy of that. I'm probably gonna do a video about dating, another video about dating at some point. This one's a little bit scattered and I'm so sorry, but I just wanted to come on and get ready and just talk a little bit and just have a little bit of girl time. I hope that everybody is having a wonderful day though, and I am going to be coming on doing more in-depth videos. I think I'm going to be doing more in-depth podcast episodes too surrounding dating, because I'm getting back into the dating world, and you know, it's rocky, bro. It really is rocky. I think that my perspective in dating is, like, I'm still healing my, like, I'm still healing my attachment style. So I think that I don't know, I don't want to take a break from dating because I don't know, we're gonna have to work through that in therapy. I really don't fucking know. But I just hope that everybody's having a wonderful day and living their best lives and staying safe. And when I tell you, listen, anytime you ever feel any type of way, if somebody's following you, anything, make a scene, cause a fucking scene. Because I would rather you cause a scene and be able to stay attached to who the fuck you are now. I would rather you cause a scene than freaking be sent away in a body bag. I really mean it. And it sounds so, like, dramatic, and everybody thinks it's so dramatic. But during my assault, that man could have killed me at any point. That man could have ended me at any point, because he woke up and you could tell that he was, like, nervous because of what happened then. Like, he knew what he did. He knew what the fuck he did. So we're not gonna get into that. But I love you all so much, and I will check you out in the next one. Please like my podcast, rate my podcast, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and just live your best lives and have the best day. And I love you so much. Bye.